Hey everybody, it's your hospitality friend Glenn here reporting from the lodging conference where I found Rob Smith of Stonebridge Companies, where he's a recently appointed CEO. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, Glenn.
I'm so excited for you. I know I saw you last night, but it must be so much fun to get your first role after building your whole career towards this moment.
You know, I tell you, it feels like when you've worked in the hotel and you finally get your first GM job. Very similar.
Yeah.
Really excited about leading the company.
That's a great way to put it, because I have one of my friends that when he got his first GM, he's like 20 years younger than me, and he's like, wow, this is the most incredible thing ever.
It's great. It's great to know that it's your show.
So what do you do when you first get into the company? What are you thinking about the state of that organization, and then how you can help propel it forward?
You know, the first 90 days, Glenn, I was in learning mode. I wanted to learn, the people, the process, and just everything about the company. And really wanted to dig into the owners. We got 66 owners within Stonebridge, and I want to make sure that I got to know each and every one of them, what's on their mind, where they want me to focus, because, they're really the ones we're working for.
So what is on their minds? Where do they want you to focus? And did that really differ than what your preconceived notions might have been?
One of the things, I learned two things. First of all, Stonebridge has a great top-line team, which I, can't take any credit for. We've run 109% year-to-date market share aggregate as a company. So, and we're up 7% year over year, which market's up about 2.5%. So great top line. The owners are telling me they love the focus, going back and looking at the actual business model, what we run. I was excited to see the capacity, the number of hotels that we ask our operators to handle was very low.
Right.
And the first thing they asked me is, well, Rob, are you going to change that?
Right.
And had to think hard about it. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to exploit it, Glenn, because I think it's a real advantage that we've got a really engaged group of people.
It sure is. And sometimes some of the larger companies have a tendency to put less people for more hotels, which kind of might take away from that interpersonal ability for you to really connect with the owners, operators, and developers.
Yeah, at the end of the day, having the best GM, we all know, is
right.
The number one thing to making the hotel successful. But we truly need that above property engagement. A lot of these assets were bought either pre-COVID or some in COVID, and the market has changed so much that we can't just say, well, the pro forma doesn't make sense anymore. We have to make sure that we go back and look at it as a white paper and make it make sense. So, it's important for us. My number one focus is making sure that the owners are able to get the return on the investment that they entrusted to us.
So where do you think the biggest opportunity is on the property level, knowing that each property has a different kind of dynamic behind it?
Well, typically the biggest opportunity is the top line. But what we're seeing in the market, not at Stonebridge, is we're seeing a lot of issues in the middle of the P&L because of all the changes in expenses. So I think, of course, you always have that two opportunities. You have to make sure the top line comes in, and you got to make sure that you're reacting to the market. You're reacting to the cost of labor, the cost of energy, to make sure that you can still get to that bottom line for the owner. And, they also have, hopefully it's going to get some relief soon, but they also are dealing with cost of capital. So their whole business investment model has changed. And if we don't react for them, they're going to be in trouble. And that's, we want them to know that they can count on us.
And, like everything else, there's always endless challenges and opportunities within our incredible business. Where do you see the opportunity for Stonebridge as an entity?
Well, we recently acquired Real. We treated it as a merger. We went from 12 states to 25 states.
That's pretty
really helped
amazing.
And the Real
is based out of D.C., right?
They're based out of the East Coast.
Yeah.
So the real opportunity in a merger, most people think it's because you get more contracts, but the real opportunity is you get talent.
Right.
And this merger was really thoughtful.
It's a really interesting point.
Yeah, it's really thoughtful because we have a lot of vertical expertise within Stonebridge. The Real brings in a lot more full service capacity. They bring that East Coast capacity, and we have like 44 independent hotels now. So that's a skill set that not everybody has. So
and you want that deep bench of players, and by combining forces, not only do you get the people that are in leadership, but hopefully the ones that are just behind them that you might be able to promote to other properties, right?
Yeah, the greatest thing in my mind, about a merger, it's about bringing all the people together and letting everybody find new ways to succeed in new areas to grow.
Yeah. All right, last question I have for you. Comment on this event, the lodging conference. I know we're just kicking it off as we're recording this. You folks might be seeing this a little bit later. What do you think the general sentiment is from that opening night cocktail party last night?
Everybody seems content, but they also seem on edge. Everybody's like, what's going to happen next, whether it's the election, whether it's further interest rate cuts. A lot of folks' debt comes up in early 25. A lot of folks are in a 7-year cycle of a 5-year hold. And, they want to see things start to loosen up so that they can make their investment goals. So what I'm seeing here is, no doom and gloom, no people worried, but everybody wondering what's next.
Yeah, and we're all going to wonder what's next. And that's what we're going to try to decode for you here at the Lodging Convert. So for Rob Smith, myself, Glenn, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, all the stuff that those YouTubers ask. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me, Glenn.